Hey, good morning. Today is December the 26th of 2022, and happy Kwanza. Yep, happy Kwanza. This is a season of holidays. People have different cultures and different religions and different things, and so I didn't really want to participate in Christmas this year. I've been having my different, just perception shifts over the years. And, my family, they still wanted to do it, um, it wasn't like I didn't want them to feel like I wanted to just, I was being a Scrooge or whatever. So, basically, I was just like, I'm not gonna do Christmas, but I still had to kind of do Christmas because everybody else was doing Christmas, you know. But I was trying to ignore it the most I could, but I was trying not to make it personal, but make it personal because that was something that I needed to do, you know. So, I'm gonna do something. It's a lot that's been coming to my mind, so I'm just gonna take this walk with you. If you tag along with me, then I'm just trying to get adjusted. I've been up for a bit, but I hadn't even made my coffee or anything. So basically, I got up and I was like, okay, let me get to it. And I was just about to plan it out. Then I realized today is observed for Christmas. Why is today still observed for Christmas when Christmas was yesterday? So that just kind of made me like want to go a little deeper into why I didn't want to do Christmas this year. So let's start off with, today is the 26th. So, and it's the first day of Kwanza. And then we're going to go into what is Kwanza. So, I see. So, I understand that some people want to do the whole Santa Claus thing and, do the whole fairy tales with their kids. But I don't have kids, but I feel like even if I had kids, I wouldn't fall into that because I didn't like Santa Claus when I was young. I just didn't even like the idea of it. And so, I mean, and like now as an adult, knowing how it began and all that type of stuff and what's the whole point of it, it's just like, for me, it doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna just talk a bit about how we're about to get this coffee going. And I don't knock anybody's beliefs, but I wonder, do you know how Christmas started? You know how Christmas started? Saint Nick, Santa Claus, you know who that is? If it's a real person or is it imaginary? Or did that person really exist? People just think of the jolly old guy in the red outfit, right? With the fat belly and the reindeer. He was a real man. And we're gonna talk more about him. I don't want to just talk about him. I'm gonna read from right from there, from the little knowledge thing, the knowledge box, where we search for information. Here's the story. Holy Spirit, please just move through me. Help me to reveal what you want me walk. Thank you for being with me. I trust you. And God of my ancestors. Alright, so when people have culture and they have religion, I've been on this, okay. Yeah, black culture matters. Dancing, how I dance, how I wear my hair. How I dance, how I wear my hair, the clothes that I wear. Not just me, everybody. It matters. I mean, it's a part of who we are. Why we do that? Some people don't think of it, but we do it for a reason. It's what we were taught. So I feel like this is about to be bitter. It's cool. It's a little bitter, but it's okay. This conversation might be a little bitter for some people. But hey, it's time for the truth to come to the light. Everything must come to the light. I know it's taking me a minute, but hey, get comfy. Go get your coffee. Go get your coffee. I need some flavor in this. Sometimes I don't flavor it very much so that I can stop drinking it, you know. Stop wanting to drink it as much, because when you flavor it, that's what you want. You really want that sugar. Sweet stuff. All right. Let's get it. Y'all ready? Let's talk about Santa Claus. So the first thing that I looked up into was Santa Claus, also known as Saint Nicholas or Kris Kringle. It's a part of the Christmas tradition. Like the Jolly Man, you know, bringing joy. But who is this guy? It's a legend that goes back for hundreds of years. It's a monk. So Saint Nicholas was a saint. He was a monk. He did charitable work. Saint Nicholas. And dang, I look like the Walking Dead. Excuse it, y'all. Excuse it. I should probably turn it. Goodness. Goodness gracious. Change this lighting because I can't be looking a fright. I can't be looking a complete fright. All right. I know I ain't supposed to be looking at myself, but hey, I know people looking at me, and I'm just, jeez. Y'all get to stare at me. At least I'm right here reading, and I look over here like, I can't. So it goes back hundreds of years, around AD 280 in Patara. Now, excuse me when I mispronounce some things. Y'all know I might do that sometimes, but it's okay. But it's near Myra in modern-day Turkey. Much admired for his piety and kindness, Saint Nicholas became the subject of many legends. It is said that he gave away all of his inherited wealth and traveled the countryside helping the poor and sick. One of the best known Saint Nicholas stories is the time he saved 3 poor sisters from being sold into slavery or prostitution by their father by providing them with a dowry so that they could be married. So that, I'm gonna stop right there. So one of his best known stories. This is one of the ones that put him up on. This is one of his things that he became famous for. That one time when he saved those poor sisters, it was 3 of those sisters, poor little girls, because they were going to get sold into slavery. The little girls going to get sold into slavery or prostitution. Their father was going to sell them because their father, he didn't have the dowry. Now, the dowry back then, you had to have the money. It's always about the money, y'all. It's always been about the money, y'all. So he didn't have the dowry to provide for his daughters so that they could marry off. So when they married the daughters, he had to give some money, basically. So basically, Saint Nick, he was like, okay, we're going to save these children. So they made, the good story of that. I mean, we don't really, this is a real person, okay? So then you see, it says over the course of many years, Nicholas's popularity is spread. And they celebrate it on December the 6th because that's when he died. So he was most popular in Europe. And he maintained a popular reputation, but it says in December of 1773 and 74 in New York, the newspapers, they reported that there were a group of Dutch families that had gathered together to honor his death. The name Santa Claus, it evolved from Nick's Dutch name because Santa Claus is Dutch. So Sinterklaas, a shortened form of Saint Nicholas, Dutch for Saint Nicholas. In 1804, see, y'all probably can hear, I hear everything. I know she gonna lie. My neighbor downstairs, she gonna lie and say that she don't hear. Oh, I don't hear anything, really. When I first moved here, you was tacking notes on my door. Now you don't hear nothing. I know, because I'm whispering and I'm on this. So I know she can hear. But anywho, I'm glad she's leaving. Now I can keep going. So in 1804, there was a member of the New York Historical Society, John Pentart. He distributed woodcuts of St. Nicholas at the Society's annual meeting. The background of the engravings contained the familiar, now they're familiar Santa images, but it included the stocking filled toys and fruit that hung over the fireplaces, okay? And in 1809, Washington Irvington helped to popularize the Sinterklaas stories when he referred to St. Nicholas as a patron saint of New York in his book, The History of New York. So, basically, I'm going to skip a bit now. So, Sinterklaas. And they brought it in New York, and that's when they made it real popular. Now, we're not even going to get into the history of New York and, the importance and all of that stuff. But basically, history is important. It is, man. So, gift giving in the shopping malls and the Santas, right? So that was introduced in the 19th century. Stores began to advertise Christmas shopping in 1820, and by the 1840s, newspapers were creating separate sections for holiday advertisements. So we all know when they were, my aunt just mentioned that the other day, how they used to put it in the advertisements. And then my cousin was like, yeah, and I used to circle what I wanted. And they made it exciting for us. That's a part of that's a part of our culture pretty much. Because if we learned that when we were growing up, So I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, see, I remember the Macy's. The Macy's Santa has appeared at almost every Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade since it began in 1924. And fans of all ages, they still line up to meet Macy's Santa in New York City. So this is something that they marketed and they advertise this, you know. So when you celebrate, it's a reason. But then you have those people that they say it's a reason for the season and it's Jesus. Okay. But why do you feel that Jesus is the reason for the season? Because I thought that Jesus, we made it clear that Easter was not about the bunny, but it was about Jesus, right? So a lot of stuff be confusing to people and they don't ever say nothing, right? But I'm not going to go into that because that's going to make this even longer. But most people, they celebrate the whole Santa Claus and the gift giving, the idea of I'm going to give the children gifts if they are good. That's what people typically think of. So, but as you see, this is something that was created off the basis of this man, which I think we should read a little bit more about him. I think that would be a good thing to do. So I had looked up this. Clement Clark Moore was an American writer and a scholar and a real estate developer, and he was best known as an author of the Christmas poem "A Visit from St. Nicholas." Now, a lot of y'all probably know this, but I mean, y'all might not know it. But it's the one when he be talking about went all through the house and not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. I think that one is the one. I think that's the one. Wait, hold on. 'Twas the night before Christmas, went all through the house, and not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So yeah, they whispering these kiddie stories and stuff, but really, we're really talking about a person who is Saint Nicholas. That's the person that we're talking about. And we all know we're not supposed to be having no idol, you know. But it seems like there's a tradition, it's a religion that we're honoring, you know, a person in their death. Dang, my other neighbor hear me too? See, that ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. I let them have the whole Christmas weekend. Anywho, so now let's go. Let's I haven't talked enough about Santa Claus. Because why is culture important? What is Kwanza? Kwanza is an African American and Pan-African holiday which celebrates family, community, and culture. Let me say that again. Kwanza is an African American and Pan-African holiday which celebrates family, community, and culture. It was created in 1966. Hey, I can relate a little bit to 1966 better than, AD something from another, country coming over here. Because in 1966, we've got people that were still alive. That was alive then by a doctor, Maulana Karenja. Now, let me see. Hold on. Because some people say, well, we can't know new religion. No, we got to hold on to the old. Well, hold on. He was a professor of Africana Studies. Kwanza, a 7-day cultural festival. It begins on December the 26th and it ends on January the 1st. Y'all see the dates. Y'all know what happened between then. It joins communitarian values and practices of continental African and African American culture. Now, why does this matter? First of all, let's see, what does Pan-African mean? Anybody know what that means? Pan-African? Pan-African. Pan-African is relating to all people of African birth or descent. All people, you know, whether you were born literally there or whether, you know, you were a descendant. Now, let's go a little deeper on that one because there is scientific proof that proves that modern humans arose in Africa at least 250,000 to 300,000 years ago. Now, fossils and DNA reveal this. But the scientists have been unable to pinpoint a more specific homeland because of the earliest Homo sapien fossils that were found across Africa, and ancient DNA from African fossils is scarce and not old enough. So as we should know, Africans are not just dark-skinned. They're not just black. You know, they are different. They are white and black, different, all different shades, and, you know, and if we didn't know that, then, you know, we should start to open our mind a bit more just right there. Because they're saying that scientific proof has proven that we all came from Africa. So technically, we're all African. We are all of the African descent. Scientific proof. So I'm not going to go any deeper on that, but let's just continue. So it says it's the of the African American and Pan-African holiday, which celebrates family, community, and culture. So everybody got a family that you can celebrate with, right? Or a community and culture. Now the thing is that people got different cultural traditions. That's the thing. Which this is a tradition, but it's a newer tradition because of all of the separation. Now let's look up culture, because I was just like, what is modern culture? Modern culture refers to the shift in collective thought that took place with the rise in scientific advancements through the Renaissance. Now, the Renaissance is a period of time. Now, modern culture refers to a shift in collective thought. It's possible that change, that I have a dream to shift. You know, the different people, or even, Obama, just, I'm just naming people just right that I've, been able to relate to and actually see with my vision, in my realm, in my time frame, to my capacity, until I learn more, and we all can only relate to something that we see within our realm and our capacity until we learn more. So anywho, why is culture so important? Culture is important for a number of reasons, because it influences an individual's life in a variety of ways, including values, views, desires, fears, and worries. So, why is culture important? Different people from their different, wherever they're from, and they have their culture of their family or their, why is it important to keep that? Or, different countries Why is it important that they keep their tradition, their tribal traditions and native traditions? Because it's so important, because it's influencing. When you have a child and then you put them in a certain, you want to look what's the best schools or what's going to give them the most opportunity for what you want them to do. Pretty much. When you go and you try to find a job, you look at what's the opportunity in that area. How can I advance in whatever I'm trying to do, right? But all of that is culture is cultivating the child, It's cultivating you, it's cultivating me, it's cultivating everybody, our environment and what the laws and what we're being taught. It influences an individual's life. And we don't even realize that we're being influenced. But that's what it is. That's what we subject ourselves to. Whenever we engage with something, we're engaging with what we're choosing to have influence over us. Our values, our views, our desires, our fears, and our worries. It all just depends on your culture and how you were cultivated and developed as a product of your environment. Okay, let's go a little deeper. The clock. This coffee got me turning up. Okay, so during the holiday, families and communities organize activities around the Guzo Zaba, which is the 7 principles. Umoja, which means unity. So this is what Kwanza is, the whole celebration of the Kwanza. Because this professor, he's like, he done did his research and he done found out he's a professor of African studies, Africana, which is where we all come from, all of us. And so he says that in his research, and so many people supported him that this is a recognized holiday. People just don't publicize it. I learned about this in school. We had to learn about this. But see, it was kind of frowned upon to learn about African heritage and, African Black History Month. And, it's kind of like a joke. But it's just, but anywho. So during the holiday, families and communities organize activities around the Nguzo Zaba. And excuse me if I'm not pronouncing in the proper tongue. Excuse me. The 7 principles, that's what that means. It's 7 principles that they built this upon based on his history, his studies, and And so Umoja, that means unity. That's the one, the first one. And so we have the candles, and we have the candles that, represent each day. And then we're recognizing and, have the tradition of reflection on each one. So basically, Umoja, it's unity, is the one. Kujichagulia, that means self-determination. Kujichagulia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujima, that means collective work and responsibility. Ujama, right? Jama, cooperative economics. Ujama, cooperative and economics. Cooperative economics. Nia, which means purpose. Nia, and that means purpose. Kumba, kuumba, creativity. Kuumba, creativity. Imani is the final one, which means faith. Imani, and that one means faith. So those are the 7 principles. Now, participants also celebrate with feasts. Karamu, that's called Karamu. They have feasts, and during this time they have music, and they have dance, and they have poetry, and they have narratives, and at the end of the holiday they have a day that they dedicate to reflection and recommitment to the 7 principles and another central cultural values and other central cultural values. Okay, so basically he added it in right there at the end. So they do at the end, they do all the partying and the dancing and the feasting. They do it for a whole week, y'all. For the whole week. See, I celebrate this one. Santa Claus, I don't know. Because if he was paying some dowry for them women, I'm just thinking, what if I was one of them little sisters and then he paid my dowry, and then what? Then that technically mean I'm his slave. Ain't no telling what he was doing with them kids. I mean, I don't know. But hey, that was a different time. I'm in this time. And this kind of makes sense for me. It makes a little more sense for me to celebrate. It's something that I learned in my hood, in my school. They taught us that at an predominantly African American school in the hood, and it makes sense. So the 7 principles they reflect on, and they recommit to those 7 principles. That's the culture of it. And other central cultural values. So it's more to it. So I think, that's at the point where if you have other personal cultural values, and that's when that's added in. So let's see. I don't want to go too deep into this, but I mean, that's just, because I'm already in 30. It was something else I wanted to bring out, though. What was it? I think I hit everything. Okay. So, I mean, there it is. Today is the first day of Kwanza. And, they have let me see. Kwanza, culture and practice of freedom. The message and model for our times. Okay, now I know some people might just be like, what in the world? Just another religion, and look, you gotta open your mind. Come on now. If you just yesterday was just celebrating and thanking God for this white man that done brought your kids some gifts, when you know good and well that you done worked hard for some money and stretched yourself out to buy these kids some stuff that they not even gonna really be using or playing with for very long. That didn't make sense, did it? But but when I talk about celebrating for a whole week with music and dancing and poetry and storytelling with your family, and reflecting on the principles of unity and self-determination, and collectively working together and having that responsibility, and cooperative economics, and having purpose and creativity, and instilling and building on that faith. These are 7 principles that are really important just for it to build on within your family throughout the year. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. We used to have a song and everything. Y'all want to hear it? Here it go. We'll close it out like this. It used to be like this. Muzo Saba, the 7 principles of Kwanza. Umoja, unity. Umoja, unity. Kujichagulia, self-determination. Kujichagulia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujama, cooperative economics. Ujama, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Nia, purpose. Kuamba, creativity. Kuamba, creativity. And Imani, faith. Imani, faith. Now, if you went to school with me, please don't butcher me if I really jack that up, because it was somebody in our class that they and their family, they truly grew up with this tradition, and it's not nothing to be made fun of. And I don't want y'all to think that I'm making fun of it at all, but free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow, okay? And bold. Have a great day, y'all.